Wow. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Dr. Lauren in the house. It's a purple morning. Purple, purple, purple. Right? I am so excited to be here with you today. God bless you all. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. Like I said, I'm Dr. Lauren. Although, again, it sounds like I'm channeling Louise Jefferson today. George! Remember her? And you're moving on up. Right. I'm really thrilled to be here. Hmm. I'm trying to decide how to bring this in. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Okay. Hmm. This is really difficult. I'm so. Our guest today, Grace Lovret, cannot be here. Her partner unexpectedly passed away this morning. I found out like 2 minutes ago, even though, she'd been trying to reach us because I'm not really on social or anything until after the show. So, what do you say, you guys? What do we say in times like this? Um, Condolences. I'm so sorry for your loss. Those things don't seem to cut it, right? Many of us have dealt with um, loss, death, grief, all of it. It's not as easy as it may seem sometimes, right? And in moments like this really caught me off guard. I can only imagine uh, how it feels to the people in Grace's family and her sacred circle. So we want to send prayers of healing, understanding, discernment, and most of all, peace beyond comprehension. That is what I am praying for Grace Lovret and her family, you guys. Um, mm, I'm just gonna let's just go there. Let's just go there. I have some banana over there. I'll show you guys. I have some banana, right? And I'm not supposed to eat on the show anymore. And I'm really gonna try not to. I said try. But I do have my coffee here. Welcome to the show. My sidekick. She's been here all these years, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. So it's gonna be a solo show. Not really solo because you will be here, but Dr. Lauren is the guest, I guess. Or you're the guest. I don't know. Um, I'm still just let's talk about this. We've all heard, when we're told, "Ooh, live today as if it were your last," because one day you're going to be right. I just gotta let that hang out there for a minute, you know. Uh, mm, mm, mm. I just, you guys, my heart is heavy. We're gonna get Grace back here, absolutely, and we're gonna try to get her back here, um, just as soon as she's ready. Just as soon as she's ready. This woman is a go-getter. She is an entrepreneur par excellence, and I don't even know how she answered the phone just now when I called. Oh, you guys, hold on. I'm looking. I get things coming through. Um, what is he talking about? I'm inside the studio. What do you mean? It says I'm live. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Hold on. Says I'm live, so I'm gonna stay live until they tell me differently.
Hey,
You're on the air. Says I'm live. 5 minutes and 6 minutes now. I'm in the link that says Bathrobe Moment sits with the amazing Grace and Lovret.
I just saw it. I think I was on the wrong link.
Okay, well, they just heard you admit that, so that's good.
Yeah, okay, I'm here.
I ought to bring you on the show.
No.
Oh, okay. Hold on. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Sorry about that. That was my everything. My husband says he's my work husband, Shaquille. He is our show producer. So anyway, we were deciding whether we should keep this going right now or should we end it. No, the show must go on, right? I want to talk about it. Everything happens for a reason, and I kind of had a feeling because on the chair next to me I have a whole bunch of stuff just in case, right? I even have this. I want to talk about this too. Um, I have the fact that it was Shaquille who is the person I was just talking about years ago said, "You got to quit eating on the show." And I said, "Okay, this season I am not going to eat on the show. I'm not because I'm going over here." I'm back. You didn't see me eat, did you? It's never about just one thing. So anyway, again, our prayers are pure energy, not just any old energy. We got to be careful about that too, you guys, when we say, "Oh, I'm sending you energy." What kind? So we're sending healing energy, comforting energy, energy that surpasses all levels of understanding and comprehension to Grace M. Lovret and her family this morning in this very difficult time. Losing someone unexpectedly, losing someone even when you know what's going to happen, just losing someone. It leaves a void in our world. I'm looking over in the corner where mothers number 1 and 2, I have their pictures. It's almost like a little shrine, right? But I have them there to remember, to help me to remember myself to the fact that they may be gone, but their spirit and their involvement, their contribution to my journey, well, all I have to do is look around me, look within me, and I see that they're still here. It is their physical presence that leaves that gaping hole in the universe. Where you wake up some days, you know how that is, you guys, where you wake up and you go, "Oh, I can't wait to call into." I've done that so many times. Not so much now. It's been like 15 years. I don't do it, but it doesn't mean I don't feel like doing it. It took a long time for me to delete the last voicemail that my birth mother, Lucille, had left me. Because for many years, just listening to her voice was a comfort. It was a true comfort. Something happened about, I don't know how many months ago, but in the last year, one of my cousins found a cassette tape that we made like in 1972 when, Panasonic had those round cassette players of all different colors and stuff. And our grandmother, Callie, she died in 1974. We used her as our guinea pig because none of us liked the way our voices sounded when we listened to it back. Because, we'd never heard ourselves. We were kids. I don't sound like that. You remember that? First time you heard the recorded version of your voice, didn't sound like you, did it? So somehow we persuaded Grandma Callie to sing. It was a church song. We call them church songs, but um, she sang a song called "Sweet Hour of Prayer," and we kind of tricked her into it because everyone was always telling her she would say "Sweet Hour of Prayers," and it's "Sweet Hour of Prayer" singular. And all these years later, we found the cassette, and listening to it was like being inside of a time capsule. It was like time travel. Hearing her voice, I could almost see her face, but I definitely felt her presence. You know what I mean? And boy, what a gift. I think I'm going to listen to that today. I think I'm going to go back and listen to that today. So I wanted to just say to you all, if you've lost someone, don't only honor the time they were with you. Every day, honor the distance since they have left you. It's an important thing. It will bring you much joy, much comfort. And I believe it's possible that it does something for them where they are in the afterlife. Just my thought, just a thought. So again, Lucy McGillicuddy Kelly Ricardo's here today. Now, let's go on to something. Ooh, got our tickets for Jackson Hole. We're going there on the 24th of the month, and all the way through the 29th, like 5 days. Jackson Hole, they have Yellowstone Park. The Grand Tetons are there. It's a beautiful place. What I love about Jackson Hole is a lot. But the first thing I noticed, first of all, it's very exotic in a way. Not exotic because those are mountains, but it feels exotic because you don't get off the plane and go into an airport. Like, you go down that tarmac thing and da 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 da. Those tunnels that they build around, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know what they're officially called, but in Jackson Hole, it's like being on one of those like fantasy islands or something, because the plane lands and you go down the stairs and you're walking out there on the airport ground over to the airport, and it just feels like you're in some place other than the U.S. So in the mountains, what we noticed first of all, my husband, Dr. Brian, and I, because he goes and he's going with me again this year. We love it. Um, when we go to Mexico or any other place for our vacations to decompress, we usually go for a week, right? But it's not until day number 4, if we're lucky, that we start turning off all of this electrical energy caused by and all these computers and things. I mean, one, two, three compute, four, if you can count the one I'm on, right here in this studio area. 4 computers. Now, I didn't say they all work, but they're here. That's because I burn them out, right? Better they burn out than me. That's the bell of purpose. And that's me dropping the mallet that hit the bell of purpose. So anyway, what I'm getting at is this. We would get there. It would take half the vacation before we could literally relax. No matter how many drinks you have or, what cute outfits you wore. And I'm telling you, I get some cute outfits for vacation. Y'all best believe. Yes, I do. How you liking this purple outfit? That's my ADHD. I like it. I might wear it again next week when a real guest is here. Anyway, what I love about the Grand Teton, and Dr. Brian agreed, within 10 minutes of landing, all of the stuff that took days in other places, other destinations, just disappeared. They melted away. By the time we checked into our suite, we were already knee deep inside the refreshing waters. I'm there right now. See how quick it works? I cannot wait to get to Jackson Hole. If you've not been, I highly recommend you take a trip to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, right? Another little tidbit. They have per capita more billionaires live there than anywhere in the world. How do they? I guess, well, George Harrison, Lady Gaga. I met Nikki Sixx. He was the bass player for Motley Crue, band. He was there. Met him at the Trueness Project event the first year. This will be the third year. The power of three. Okay. This coffee's good. So, something I discover. I love discovering things I don't know, especially at the ripe old age of nearly 64 years old. My husband was in Michigan over the weekend last week, and so his bestie, where he always goes at least every other weekend, but sometimes every weekend for at least a little bit, they hang out. They go to art shows and things like that. And I stay home most of the time because that gives me a chance to do things around here, walk the property, do some stuff outside. You know, um, I love my sanctuary that's out there for the animals, for the birds, the plant life. I just absolutely adore it. So that gives me a chance to do that because when my husband's home, I want to give him the attention when I'm not working, right? So anyway, I went to his bestie Margaret's house for dinner, and she's Polish, just like my husband. And I was like, "What is that?" Because first of all, I saw this crystallized sugar. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the big old piece? See it? So I was like, "What's that?" She said, "I just get it at this bakery where they take raisin bread that is like, a day or two old that they don't sell. They toast it, and then they sprinkle this raw sugar over the top." And she goes, "It's really a nice snack." Now, this, even though I'm told not to eat on the show anymore, this is not eating on the show. It's not. This is product placement. This is a learning experience. Ooh, that sugar came out of the bag. It's on my desk. Waste not, want not. Delicious. So anyway, I'm only gonna do a little piece. So please, team, no hate mail. So it's really hard. Here's a piece, okay? But what I loved about it, I tasted it already clearly because it's broken. It tastes sweet, but not so sweet, but just enough. Like if you're tempted to eat a Snickers or something, or Snickers, a piece of cake or pie, which is a piece of berry pie upstairs waiting for me for dessert tonight. Yum. This is a great alternative. A bit noisy for my taste, but it takes away your craving. It did for me, seriously, because Margaret was gonna pop in something and make some kind of a dessert. We had grilled out chicken breast. We had eaten really healthy up to that point. And she's the kind of Polish woman that's got all kinds of little. Don't open up any kind of candy dish in her house because I'm telling you, you ain't coming out by yourself. Ain't no way you're gonna put that lid back on and not have a handful of something. She had these caramel chocolate things. I said they probably hard. I touched one and my whole finger sank into it. I wanted to take the whole thing and just dump it in my pocket. I didn't. God must have really been with me in that moment because I'm still now regret. Damn, why didn't I take all those? Anyway, I took this. And I'm not kidding you. Look how thinly sliced it is. You don't want a whole piece. You just break a little piece off. And satiation. Is that a word? Let's just say my craving for something sweet, I wouldn't got a hope I would have gone and eaten a donut or something. I just ate a bite or two of this. Took my craving away. So there you go. Day old, thinly sliced raisin bread with some raw sugar on it. See if you can find some. See what you think. When you do, if you try it, let Dr. Lauren know. Okay? Okay, I'm not going to eat anymore. I can feel their eyes. Don't you dare eat on that show. So anyway, I can drink though, coffee. Let's go back to why our guests, some people have come in. Grace Lovret, love her. She's been on the show in the past, a few years ago. She's just, her mind is like a computer. This woman can do everything. Unfortunately, her partner passed away this morning unexpectedly, and it just, breaks my heart. So we're going to pray for her. Oh, we're going to pray for her. Look at this tree of life thing, and it's purple. Can you see it? I just started wearing this. I've had it for like 4 years. I believe I got this somewhere in the Carolinas when they're speaking. I just absolutely love it. Let me ask you all this. When it comes to your pieces, hi, Robert Brooker. Enter the bell of purpose. So good to see you, Robert. How are things in I almost said Kalamazoo. That's in Michigan. That's where Brian's from, my husband. Canada. How are things in Canada, my friend? Um, so you remember back in the day, maybe not, but I remember, I don't know, 80s, 90s, maybe still a thing. When people are wearing crystals and things around their neck, I just go, oh, let me see it. And I touch it, and they're like, don't touch my crystal. Now I got to cleanse it. Is that still politically correct not to ask to touch? I am so out of it when it comes to protocol. I'm serious. I'm old school. Um, I just they need a there needs to be some kind of a Wikipedia place. I don't know if I want like what I just some place where you can go and find the latest things. Um, I remember last year a kid said to me, Dr. Lauren, I heard you say hashtag blah 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 blah. Don't do that. He said it almost like it was a cuss word. I was like, why not? Nobody does that anymore. Color me floored. I had no idea. Things change so much in our world, you guys. More on a serious note, things change so much in our world so quickly that I feel it's very important that we have routines about the thing surrounding the things that matter the most. When we call people that we love and just let them know, remind them that, I was thinking of you today. And I'm so grateful for the place and the role that you play in my life, in my world. I know people that spend more energy. I just found this out the other day. The term called doom scrolling. My personal assistant, Luke, who's here, and he helped. When I say personal assistant, I mean help me to the car, bring in these groceries. That kind of personal assistant. He's 23 years old. He's across the street doing gardening today for my neighbor Steve. And these young people nowadays are so wonderful. So many of them are so wonderful. But he said, "Oh no, no, Dr. Lauren, you want to stay away from doom scrolling." I'm like, "What's that?" This. It's like he says, I stay away from it because it will suck me into the rabbit hole. And so that's the first young person of that age, 20 something, that I've heard even talk about it and say that they wanted to stay away from it, kind of thing. So the struggle is real, y'all. The struggle is real. Man, that piece of what? Hold on. Getting a call. What'd you say? Now you know they said I can't eat on the show. You sure about that? The bread told me it's not working. You tricked me. The bread said, put a little piece on your tongue. It'll dissolve in no time. Nobody will know. Didn't work. Nice try, fella. See you after the show ends. So, how do you deal with loss, death? I mean, it's it's going to happen to all of us at some point where someone in our sacred circle passes away. How do you get? Do we ever really get past it? I don't. I don't think I want to. I think I want to learn how to take the healing from what's missing. Take the lesson from what's missing. Grab the blessing from what's missing. Because if I sit there wishing it hadn't happened, I'm going to miss that other stuff I just mentioned. But I'm interested. I mean, there's so many. Oh, they got the stages of grief, all these different things. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, remember that? Death and Dying. Um, but no matter what you read, no matter how many bouquets of flowers you get, how many warm dishes people bring to your door, how many videos you watch of years and days gone by with that person in the video. It's just not the same. But we can. I mean, I I talk to my mothers over in the corner all the time. I have them here because I need them near. I go visit my mother. Matter of fact, day after tomorrow on the 4th of June. Yep. Is my birth mother, Lucille's birthday. I will talk about her on the show. I'll show her picture. I've already gone to her grave. And I go there all the time just to sit, catch her up on all the wonderful blessings in my life. But just to sit, just to feel her presence. Because it's the presence is still with us, right? Do you believe that? Let me know. Robert Brooker says that he says, my first funeral was my great grandmother. I asked my grandma what I should do. She told me it's a happy time because they're in a better place, fully restored and pain free. I accepted this. It was 1972. Wow. Robert, dude. Golden. That is golden. Beautiful, beautifully said, my friend. Thank you for that. You know, you can always count on Robert Brooker, y'all. You can always count on Robert Brooker. He's going to tell it like it is. Now, so anyway, what else do I have in my bag of goodies today? As I am pivoting and doing what I refer to as Helen Kellering my way through the show, right? This. I can't tell you how important this one is. Is it backwards to you guys or do you see it the right way? 2 words, sacred and scared. 6 letters in each word. The same letters within each word. I believe that there are 2 lanes towards the world of purpose that drive us directly down the road to legacy. And each one of those lanes is going, they're side by side. We stand, our principles are the line down the middle. That's why we say, don't cross the line. Other things are, what's the another thing we say about lines? Don't cross the line, draw the line in the sand, that kind of thing. Boundaries, right? So the 2 lanes are separated with our intentions, our purpose. Now think about this. SACRED, scared. SCARED, sacred. This is how I look at it. Boom. So let's say this is my sacred lane, this is my scared lane. Just like any highway, along the sides, you best believe there are billboards. Now, the billboards change because the scenery and the road towards the destination are constantly changing. So, if any of you have ever been down south here in the United States, headed towards, I think it's Tennessee, and you see Ruby Falls, they start putting billboards up hundreds of miles before Ruby. Don't miss Ruby Falls. 300 miles to Ruby Falls, 40 miles to Ruby Falls. And by then, you're like, okay, enough already. And then if you say, last place I want to go is Ruby Falls, because I'm tired of those billboards, you're going to turn around. You know why? As soon as you pass it, 5 miles away, you just passed Ruby Falls. You're 7 miles past Ruby Falls. Time to still turn around and not miss Ruby Falls. Okay, I'm going. So anyway, the billboards. I said all that to set this up. The billboards. I believe in my world, my soul holds up the billboards on the sacred side of the highway. Those things that aren't there to serve me, the trickery, they hold up those 3 monkeys. Them. They hold up signs on the other side. Don't go see your friend who's in the hospital. The casino's right here on the next exit. Are you crazy? Don't you feel lucky? You know what? I'm not going to go visit him. I'll just send him a message, say something came up, and hit the prayer emoji. Same thing. No, not. So, sacred and scared. How do we switch lanes? Sometimes It's because we are distracted. The scared side is going to always put some. This is how it works in my world. Let's say I'm riding down in this outfit, mm, listening to whatever. What have I been listening to lately? Carly Simon. I've been listening to a Carly Simon, a lot of Carly. The Fifth Dimension. Remember that group from the 60s, 70s? Um, I've been listening to a lot of that kind of music. Nostalgic, because I need to be reconnected to great times in my life. So anyway, I'm driving, tops down, hat still secure, because with Sacred, I don't got to worry about losing my hat. It's sitting right there. It's not going to go anywhere. Everything's going to stay exactly as I intended it, right? Music's playing, sun is shining, and then all of a sudden, someone says, I see a sign. I start looking across the street. I know that's right, Robert. Up, up and away. Right. Um, you get distracted and look over there. Bag of money laying in the middle of the road, 700 feet ahead. Did you see that sign? Girl, said a bag of money over there in that lane. Come on. And we go. Ain't no bag of money. It's a bag of duty. But they will distract you. You will go from sacred to scared right over there because now you're over there. Remember, the top was down because the sun was shining. All of a sudden, it starts raining. As soon as I stick my hand in that bag, thinking I'm pulling out a big wad of money, and then I'm like trying to dig boo boo out of my hand, out of my fingernails. Ew! Anybody smell that? That's the scared side. I'm just keeping it real. I know somebody, ooh, that's nasty. Well, so is everything you're going to find over in that lane. Just keeping it real. How do we get over there? We get over there, and they wait until you're vulnerable, right? I got on my new hat, tops down, whatever. Everything is perfect. So it doesn't matter that I have all my outfits for the next 2 days laid out across the back seat because I don't want to get them wrinkled, because everything's perfect. And then I switch lanes. First I got the crap on my hands. Man, oh crap, literally. It's raining. I don't want to mess up my hat. Put the top up. What's wrong with the top? It won't go up. Top won't go up. Let's drive. Put some paper, but let's get some plastic bags. We'll get to safety. Put the windshield wipers on so I can see where I'm driving. They're not working. Every light from check engine to out of gas comes on. Then all of a sudden, I realize I can't go fast because the brakes don't seem to be working. That's what happens when we switch lanes from the sacred side of life to the scared side of life. It is so easy, you all. Look at the letters. Sacred and scared, they are identical letters, 6 and 6, but it only takes two to tango. I had to take a sip of coffee on that one. So I want you to remember, count it all joy. When you can do that, you know you're within the sacred realm. If you have crossed over and you cannot count it all joy, it's because somewhere in there you're scared of something when something should be scared of you. I'm scared of that. See, we say these things. Remember that when that was a saying? I'm scared of you. Ooh, I'm scared of that. I ain't scared of shit. I'm just keeping it real. You know why? Everything we say becomes an intention. We don't think things into existence. We don't taste them into existence. They get here only one way. You guessed it. We speak them into existence. So really be cognizant. Be mindful. Keep your mind full of the words you intend to use and the definitions of those words. Here's why. A lot of us will say things like, it was just so weird how I was just thinking about you the other day and you called. No, it's so weirdly magical How every time I'm thinking of you, you call or I call you. Here's another one. You know, isn't it funny how, sure is funny, and then you wander down the road while you feel like everyone takes you for a joke. No, it's funny interesting. It's funny miraculous. Okay? Now there's another one. I said, weird. Oh, here's a big one. Crazy. It's just crazy. How? Now, how do we know? The person we're not speaking to hasn't been in a 72-hour observation situation for mental health issues because they wanted to hurt themselves sometime. I did it. I was there 7 times in my life. 5 attempted suicides. So when somebody says crazy, to me, I go to the straitjacket in my mind. So no, crazy wonderful. Crazy blessed. Put your own definition behind, beside, above, below, from top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, side to side, corner to corner, and corner to corner of everything you mean. Why is that so important? Because when you mean what you say and you say what you mean, everything you leave in this world as a spoken into existence legacy, it will remain exactly the way you left it. No changes, with no addendums. Just the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you who? Well, there you go. There it is, my little sacred talk. Okay, now I back it up. This is one journal, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 journals. You see those 9 are over there, right? This one was over here. Look at the difference. Look how beautiful this one is. The rest of those are just, blank pages, no pictures or anything. But this one is filled with stuff I still need to put in there. Look at all that. Those are all downloads. Where's that rubber band? I have a rubber band up here that I keep around it so I don't lose anything out. But look at it has beautiful pictures all through. Ooh, there's some more stuff that has to go in there. Like I gotta show you. Like inside, see? Like this. See that? Because it's different than those, because this is my sacred journal. These are where I keep my treasures, my downloaded, my awe-inspiring, my jaw-dropping, my I want you to stay with this world forever legacy pieces. I named this my sacred journal so that if this, God forbid, this house were to catch on fire, let's just say, I believe all of those, I'd be okay. Let them burn. But this one, I would rush in to save it like I would an animal or a small child or my husband or anything or anyone I love. I would. It would be the first thing I grab. People grab photos that cannot be replaced, but now there's no reason for that because if you put them in your phone, you can always get them redone. But you grab those one-of-a-kind things. We have so many. That's a $5,000 painting hanging on our wall. Go get my painting. Go get grandma's urn with her ashes in it. Well, goodness, it's an urn with ashes in it. If the house is on fire, it's all not like she hasn't burned once. I'm just saying. And then they leave these things behind. I'll tell you why this is so important to me now, even since I've seen you all last when the show was on up to last year. My sacred journal, I'm working on. Oh, it's tying in on this. See how divine everything is. I'm reaching over because for the last Shaquille, I don't know how many months have we been working on the book with Sanjeev Chopra. Where you guys probably, if you haven't seen it, you will soon because it's going to be out this summer. From sacred. See, I can't get sacred off my mind. It lives at the top of my mind so that it will live on the tips of your tongues so that you will know that everything I told you grew from the center of my soul. So, from splintered to centered. And these are 7 dimensions for navigating your soul, right? Remember, I said the soul in my world holds up all of the billboards along the lanes that I am traveling within. Because I'm not gonna lie. I switch from sacred to scared all the time. It's part of being human. That's how we grow. If we didn't switch from one lane to the other, why would we need to know that something is a growing pain? Everything would be tickles. And I ain't never heard of a growing tickle. That's a good one, right? Because a growing pain is positive. It means you're growing, it means you're reaching, and it means you have to stretch to reach for what you're reaching for. And those are the greatest things of all. And so, this book, right? Look, okay? Um, Even though Shaquille put half of those into the shredder, and it's really like this much now. But hey, where's my second half too, Shaquille? I know you can hear me. Where's the second half? We want to feel it. But what I'm going for here is this is all about the soul. Now, before I even knew I was going to write this book with Sanjeev Chopra, hello, Dr. Chopra. Um, he's in Singapore right now speaking. He'll be home in a few days, and we'll get back to it. We're almost finished. I think we have one chapter, a conclusion, and then all of our little, things we have to put here and there. But right after I agreed to do that book with him, my briefcase, which is right over there, I misplaced it. I left it in an entirely different state when I was traveling. And I thought someone, I had left it at one of my friends' houses and they didn't just want to give it back. I know it's at your house. Where's my briefcase? My sacred journal's in there. I mean, I was ready to fight. Let me in and look for myself. But I didn't misplace it. It was misplaced for me. They told me later when I got it back because I have a lot of stuff about the soul in here that is not intended for this book. It's intended for the 3 that I'm going to write after this book. But when this thing came up missing, I didn't even know about this book. So you see what I'm saying? That's the beauty of our soul. Our soul is eternal. Our soul can look over the highest treetops of the future and see what we really need because it knows where we're really headed. We have trouble looking across the street through these eyes, our outer eyes. But when you are tapped into your soul and all that it has to offer, my friends, you are now using 2 sets of eyes. These, which are our outer eyes, and then these going the other direction when they become the windows, you guessed it, to the soul. Because this is when you realize, wow, I've been looking at this entirely wrong all this time. Because now you're using your what? That's right. Your real eyes. Your real eyes turn inward. That's why when people point fingers, they forget 3 are pointing back at them. That's a clue. That's a hint. Okay, I'll give you that one about her or him. You right. That was wrong. They shouldn't have said it. They shouldn't have done it. But how do you learn? Here's the power of 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. The power of 3 is powerful. We're taught that in a big, big way in our briefest season of life, childhood. Why do you think we have the 3 bears, 3 little pigs, 3 wishes, 3 blind mice, 3 magi? Even the Jesus story, there were 3 people on that hill hanging on 3 crosses. Now, that's the sacred side of 3. Now, the scared side of 3 is keep your eye on the ball. Which one is it under? The coconut shell. The coconut shell game, which is, and then the other one, the playing cards. Follow the lady. Which one is she on? Where is she? Where is she? Follow the lady. Follow the lady. Both of those are based on deception, distraction, hoping for eventual destruction. Triple D. And I ain't talking about nobody's bra size. I got to take a drink after that one. That's right. The sacred side, there's morals to the 3 pigs. right? Huffing up, puffing up, blow your house down. Don't build it out of straw. Build it out of bricks. You know, the three bears. Someone's been sleeping in my bed. That's about being of service, offering shelter and hope to someone who may need your help at any moment. But we miss it. Now we will dismiss and forget all about the three bears, three wishes, the three magi, three little pigs, three blind mice, and get off a Greyhound bus or a train or a plane and someone says, "Hey, buddy, want to win $20? How?" Just say which one. What? Keep your eye on the lady. Which one? Let me tell you something. In those situations, you know good and well, when they're showing you how easy it is to get this free money, your soul is nudging. Idiot. Don't you go for that. It's a trick. Shut up. It's my money. That's what we say, right? We don't listen to our first mind, which is connected to all of creation. Upstairs, which is higher power. And in my world, the basement apartment, which is I just realized I've had a tenant all along. My soul lives there, nudging me, holding up those signs on the side of the road, which tell me how to stay within purpose, how to stay within principle, how to stay within character. In other words, how to make everything you do and are stay. Everything else from over there on that side of the lane, the scared side, will wither on the vine, and it will be forgotten. Why? Because the power of three, here we go. Everything you want to leave this world must live at the top of your mind. That is the only way it can land and remain on the tips of their tongues. Girl, wait till I tell you what I heard today. Then she tells another, and they tell another, and they tell another. It's called the ripple effect, right? And they only pass things forward because people only remember what they wish to repeat, and people can't repeat what they don't remember. And the things they do remember and they want to hold, I don't want to forget that. Let me write it down. Da, da, da. It's because you grew it. You earned it. You fought for it through the center of your soul, through the core of your heart. And that in and of itself is so sacred and so wonderful. It literally provides the grout to not only grout down every tile of your journey. Everything you've lived through should look like a tile. Okay, like a ceramic tile, a beautiful mosaic of purpose. But if you don't grout these down, the people from the future won't know that they're important. And they'll get kicked all over the place and it'll be a rubble, a bunch of broken pieces. That's how the world ends up with a bunch of broken stories, otherwise known as versions. And I didn't say virgin, I said version. Okay? So if you want your history, if you want your legacy, all of the things you lived through to continue after you have moved through this world into what is next, grout them down through principles, through purpose, and with your pain. Because pain is how you know you've grown. That too will also seal your message within the hallways of history. There you go. Now we're going to take that and go back because, for those who are just now joining or will join, whatever this situation, our guest today, Grace M. Lovret, maybe even this time yesterday, I'm sure, because it happened this morning. This time yesterday, because she would have called yesterday if she didn't think she was going to be here today. Found some more of that sugar. Delicious. She would have called and said, "I'm sorry, Dr. Lauren, I can't make it tomorrow." We didn't hear from her until today. She thought this time yesterday she would be right here with me right now. But she's not. Because since then, she's lost, she said, my partner. Now, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to me? I go right to my husband, Brian. I probably wouldn't have been in any shape to even pick up the phone for a Dr. Lauren in some show if my Brian had left me this morning. I don't even want to think about it. How would you be handling it right now? So we need to send. I am so honored. I can't wait to tell her how much I learned from her. I'm talking about Grace. Just because I'm getting some coffee. Just because she was able to pick up the phone and talk to me. When she does come on this show, to make up for today, because we said we're gonna rebook. She says I want to. I'd be happy to. I want to know, how did you have the strength to even talk to me that morning? Where did you find it? What pool did you dip your spirit in to get enough of something that you could talk to somebody that is not important at the moment, Dr. Lauren, about a show that was really not important at the moment, but still you were able to do it? If you had to do the same thing right now or tomorrow morning, do you know where you would reach? Where would you find your overflow? See, her cup runneth over. Some of us, when that moment comes, and it will one way or another, we'll find that our cup ran out. And I don't think that's what the intention was. How about you? So you see, my friends, there are never any mistakes. It is what they do to keep our journeys interesting. Because if we are not interesting, why in the world would anyone 100 years from now still be interested in anything about us? And also, part two of that, know this, that there are never any, I said there are never any mistakes. I already said that part. But it is never about just one thing. So grieve, but then grow. Cry. Tears of sadness, but then cry tears of joy for all that was wonderful and still is. It just never fails to boggle my mind how many components there are and how necessary each one is in living a purposeful life. You know, I have one more thing in the chair of possibilities because it was a possibility. I knew when Grace wasn't here 15 minutes early, like the show agreement, appearance agreement states, or either I say it, I don't know, but people know. I quickly reached out to Shaquille and I said, "Can you get me a phone number for Grace? It's not like her." I knew something was off. So I went and I got these things. Ugh, clearly didn't get enough sleep. Checking the color of my coffee. Maybe I didn't make it strong enough. Last thing before we wrap the show today. My husband and his best friend Margaret, I told you, it was Margaret's house that I got this from because Brian was in Michigan visiting his family over the weekend. So I was here alone, and then Margaret and I decided, which I don't think we'd ever done. I went to her house for dinner. We did a little cookout, right? Her and Brian usually go to art shows and stuff. They'll probably go to one this weekend. Well, last weekend, prior to the one where I was alone, they went to an art show. And Brian, he comes home with these things, and first thing he did was grab my hand. "Come in here. I want to show you my treasures." He gets so excited, which gets me very excited. I just love to watch him like that. So he opened up the bubble wrap, and inside there was this great paper. And inside that, I'm showing you the back, was this one of a kind signed piece by the creator of this art. He goes, "Where do you think it should go?" "We're in our new kitchen, right?" I'm like, "Ooh, that dragonfly has those same colors over there." let me take it and hold it up to it, right? Now, mind you, for almost 2 years, I've been dropping things with my right hand. Just it could be a pen. I'm holding it. I was sitting here like that. I was saying, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. And Brian has been saying, you should get it checked. How do you know you're not having a stroke or have had strokes, or maybe it's nerve damage, which we found out that's what it is. I actually have nerve damage in this hand, and I have to start PT to do something about it, right? I was scared, thinking they're going to say I had a stroke. So I was on the scared side of the highway, which prevented me from being proactive. Because I thought they were going to say, now you want to do an MRI. Okay, which we did do, but didn't say I had strokes. So anyway, about this piece. How did I get to where I found out it was nerve damage? Brian hands me this. I hold it up, and then I turn to put it on the center island. And what did I do? I dropped it. See all those pieces moving around in there? And that ain't all of them. Thank God this thing already looks like it's cracked from a distance, right? But you can see there is a chunk where this is. See, you really can't, which is a blessing. But I did contact the artist. They're all one of a kind. She never does something twice, but she's going to make a replacement, and I pick it up for him next weekend. But the moral of the story, because it's never about just one thing. Dropping this was the thing, because I saw his face, and he was so sweet. It's okay, honey. It's just a thing. But I'm more concerned with the hand that held this thing. And that touched my soul. That touched my spirit. And I went on I'm still stubborn. I'm not going to let this thing win by being broken, because I'm never broken. I'm never broken. I may be bruised, but I'm never broken. And I went to get this. I got some Gorilla Glue. I use it for everything. Ooh, could that be a potential sponsor? Speaking into existence. You'll see. So anyway, I am going to do my best to fix it. And I'm going to hang it up somewhere, even with his new one. So remember this. When something in your life appears broken, and you think you have nothing left but fragments, little pieces. See them? See them in there? Here? It is your story, the grout of your purpose, of your legendary walk, your own spiritual Gorilla Glue that will leave something behind that people can still benefit from. So I don't want you to forget that. Now get out of here. Have yourself an amazing day. Robert Brooker, thank you. And for the rest of you who have come and gone and will come again. And I certainly hope you will come again to join us for another illuminated conversation right here on Bathrobe Moments. Know that we love you. But it's not even important if we love you, if at first you can love yourself. Can I get an amen? Have a blessed day. Don't be good, be great. Don't share space, share sacred space. And don't you dare create fond memories, because you're leaving Bathrobe Moments with what I hope is a divine memory. God bless you. Prayers and everything to Joyce Lovret. We'll see you tomorrow for another show right here on Bathrobe Moments. Bye-bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How explicit do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine.